Many people have heard the phrase Christ consciousness. Some feel drawn to it, some feel resistance, often because it sounds religious, abstract, or distant. But what if it is none of those? What if Christ consciousness is not a belief, not a doctrine, and not something you have to accept, but a way of experiencing reality that is already available? Let's start by clearing something important. Christ consciousness is not a religion. It is not a moral system. It is not about being a better person, and it is not about believing the right things. It doesn't belong to any institution. It doesn't require faith. And it doesn't ask you to change who you are. It has nothing to do with adopting new ideas. It has everything to do with from where you are experiencing your experience. Many people live in a constant inner tension. Thoughts don't stop, the body stays tight, present moment feels distant. Even when life looks fine on the outside, there is often a quiet sense inside that something is missing. Subtle restlessness, background unease. Some call this anxiety, some call it depression. But underneath the labels, this is really a state of consciousness. The deepest suffering doesn't come from what happens in life. It comes from complete identification with thoughts and emotions. When every thought feels personal, when every emotion feels final, and the inner world has no space, there is a moment when something subtle can shift. Not because problems disappear, not because emotions stop, but because the relationship to them changes. There is awareness present that notice thoughts instead of being inside of them. Emotions still arise, but they no longer define who you are. This shift doesn't solve life. It changes the place from which life is experienced. Christ consciousness is not a technique. It is not a positive state, but it is a stable inner position, a way of being aware where experience unfolds but no longer dominates. Pain may still appear, difficulty may still arise, but the inner conflict begins to dissolve. Not because suffering is removed, but because the struggle with it ends. This is not a mere information, but this is recognition. When Jesus spoke about the peace of God, or said that the kingdom of God is within you, this can be heard not as a future promise, but as a description of an inner state where consciousness is no longer divided against itself. Not something to believe in, but something to enter. When this awareness begins to stabilize, people don't become perfect, but they stop fighting themselves. Thoughts lose their absolute authority. Emotions can move without overwhelming. Life continues, but it is no longer carried from a place of constant inner tension. This doesn't remove challenges. It changes the ground on which challenges appear. This is why so many people search endlessly for methods, beliefs, or experiences, while what they are actually looking for is a different place to stand within themselves. In my book, I don't present Christ consciousness as a theory. I approach it as a gradual inner stabilization, where this way of seeing is no longer just a glimpse, but slowly becomes embodied. This video is only a window. The book explores the path behind it. If something resonated here, then nothing new was added, something familiar was remembered. And that recognition is where the journey truly begins. You can find the link for my book in the description area.